In a recent update, Assassin's Creed Mirage received the full synchronization challenge, and I want to go over a few reasons as to what my experience is and how you should approach it, but also I want to go over why this is a great addition for the evolution of Assassin's Creed as fans of the older games would have wanted it to evolve. So we're going to go over that today. Now, without further ado, remember, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave it a big old like. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to check out that button underneath the video. It used to be red, it still says subscribe. I also want to thank my channel members. You guys help make these videos possible. Last but not least, I want to talk about my Substack. It is free to join. It is something I post once a week on substack.com. It will be linked down below, but like I said, it's free to join. I'll talk about gaming stuff that doesn't make it to the channel. I might talk about some YouTube behind the scenes stuff, how it works, or it might just be something completely personal. It'll be something different week to week. So if you want to connect with me even more, be sure to check that out down below. Real quickly, I'd like to announce the winners of the Skull and Bones PC giveaway. The winners are going to be King Zook SF and Scoot R Twist. I'll be in contact with you guys to get you the codes, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Anyway, let's get right into the video. So the full synchronization challenge was added in, and essentially it is a permadeath mode. And first of all, I want to go over some ways as to how you should approach it as a player. To me, this is one of the best things that Assassin's Creed has done in a long time. Sure, it's just a niche challenge mode, but to me, it's something that these games really needed. These games are typically pretty easy, and the fact that we have this ultimate consequence to the gameplay is, I think, something really nice, because what it does is it forces you to immerse yourself into the game, to put yourself in Basim's shoes with what feel like a more realistic consequences. Now, assassins are glass cannons, so, they can tear through their targets quite easily, but they can also be torn through themselves easily. And so this feels like a gameplay orientation of that sort of consequence to things. It really emphasizes that glass cannon aspect that Mirage has been going for with this more traditional assassin experience. Now, for you, the player in game, what this means is you're going to want to act more cautiously on the streets. Don't engage in unnecessary fights. Don't pursue things that are entirely unnecessary. Now, this may change whether you're doing a new game plus or doing a fresh playthrough. There are some things you may have to do in a fresh playthrough that you are not going to have to do in a new game plus, which does kind of make the new game plus a bit easier. But to me, that just comes down to your preferred experience, because a lot of the same risks apply. First of all, you don't want to raise notoriety. If you don't have to raise notoriety, don't raise notoriety. Now, I will give you this. There are going to be some instances where your notoriety is forced to be up, just the nature of some of the early missions, and that's okay. It can be pretty fun to try and roam around the streets with a high notoriety system and cautiously approach those posters, hoping the guards don't see you, but sometimes they still see you, so you have to make the best of it. But that just highlights another way that this game has this enhanced assassin experience, and that is the escapability aspect. It can be quite fun to try and escape from guards, find hiding spots, utilize the new parkour moves that were implemented in the December update. It really can get your heart racing whenever you are in these type of instances, but again, it does really highlight how you want to put yourself in Basim's shoes. Don't be afraid to slow things down, scout an area before you approach. If you are going to assassinate someone, make sure there aren't civilians watching, because that will raise your notoriety up a bit. You can even look at equipping gear that can keep your notoriety down, but that will also sacrifice some of your other stealth capabilities potentially. So you really have to kind of really immerse yourself in the systems and tools of the game, and it really does almost force you to play more like a true assassin, again, because the consequences are so great. This also is why I think using the tools is something that is highly emphasized. I did find myself playing a lot more aggressively than I thought I was originally going to, just because I was leaning so heavily on my tools, and that's because they're so useful. As an assassin, you're not supposed to be this honorable stand up and go out and fight. If you play Ghost of Tsushima, almost like, be the true samurai type of thing. Like that's not how you're supposed to be as an assassin in this game. Use your tools, fight dirty. If you have a bunch of guards approaching you and you don't think you can beat them all, pop a smoke bomb down and just take them all out that way. Throw knives at them. Do different things with your tools that are available to you so that you can get through any particular scenario, because the trade-off of using a couple smoke bombs or a couple throwing knives or a couple noisemakers is far better than having to deal with restarting from the beginning of the game. It really is like, you can't really argue hours of progress lost versus a couple of tools you can go and buy again. It's a pretty easy trade-off to make there. Now, I've already touched on why I think this is a great addition for the series, but I want to go a little bit deeper into that. First of all, this is the type of evolution that I think fans wanted back when they made the shift to RPGs. A lot of people made the complaint that the series was getting stale because they kept reusing the same formula over and over and over again. And that's true, but instead of evolving off of what was already there, taking what's there and making it better or more complex or innovating what is, they decided for some reason to just scrap it completely and start with something completely different. And I think what this permadeath mode, is something that shows that Ubisoft Bordeaux's developers have the right mindset. This is something that, while I wouldn't have picked it off the top of my head initially for how to evolve this franchise, it is something that I do find very fun and I'm glad is in the game. Now, would I want it as a default mode for a game going forward? Maybe not. It could be too irritating. But given it how historically easy these games really are, I wouldn't be totally upset if this wasn't a default feature, because again, it really gets you immersed into utilizing every tool possible to keep yourself alive in the city. It emphasizes that survival aspect of being in a constantly hostile environment that an assassin is typically in. So I am very glad it is in the game, and this is the type of thing I would enjoy going forward. Now, I'm not deluded enough to think that this is a sign that the RPGs are going away and whatever Hex is, they're all going to turn into more traditional Assassin's Creeds. I'm not delusional enough to think that, but if we do get more games like Mirage going forward, I hope more, I guess you could say, hardcore features like this could really enhance the experience to help raise the stakes for the player and immersing themselves in the worlds that they put us in. And I think it can make for some very fun times and some very fun moments, because that moment of escape is much more consequential now. So the feeling of success is much more fun, much more entertaining, much more engaging, because you really have to escape, otherwise you could lose so much progress. Overall, I am really enjoying the update. I'm really enjoying the full sync challenge. I'm looking forward to finishing it hopefully in the next few days or so. But anyway, let me know down below, what do you think of the full sync challenge? Have you been trying it? Have you been playing it? Do you think it's something that's good for the series, or do you think that it's something bad for the series? Let me know down below. Let's have a conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.